SMX Next. So if you would kindly stay with us through us all, you guys are in for a good one. Quick rules of the room. As always, please state your name and affiliation and pass that mic around so we can get to as much media as possible, as well as those joining online. For the 450 class, Cooper Webb, he maintains that points lead and extends it up by 12. Chase Sexton, 43rd 450 career podium for Supercross, and Justin Cooper, his 3rd career 450 Supercross podium. We'll start with you, Cooper Webb. Cooper, this was exactly what you needed, and you executed. Just how much weight was on your shoulders, maybe not just today, but all week long?
Yeah, it was a lot of, a weight, especially after last weekend was a bit of a defeat, right? So it's been a good week, but a long week. Whenever you have bad races like that, it's a long 7 days, and it was getting to a point where we needed to do something, and I was definitely able to execute in that main event, got the whole shot, and was able to sustain the pressure from Chase the whole time, which wasn't easy. There was a lot going on. The track was tricky. It was one where it could catch you off guard if you kind of wanted to catch a flow, at least for me, and lappers were tricky, and just trying to change lines as the track broke down was tough. And very happy with my main. I rode very solid, consistent, and much needed win for sure.
Congratulations, Cooper Webb. Open it up to questions from the media. Scott
Yarjo, Moto Now. Chase, why start jumping the whoops?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw them, but they were pretty mangled, and it took a lot of energy to jump, or to skim, So I just, one of those things where I wanted to see if I could run the similar speed jumping them, and kind of just save myself a little bit. It was, like I said, it was hard to skim. It took a lot of effort, and they were just really sketchy. I feel like I could have maybe got through them all main event, skimming them and not crashing, but you're running that risk of having a big one with the whoops like that. So I started jumping. I made that one mistake. I was following Coop, jumping him, and when he got on the gas, roosted the crap out of me, and I just couldn't see anything and jumped off the track, basically. So other than that, I feel like I was pretty good at him. And then once I got a flow doing it, I feel like it was just as fast. You kind of had to figure out how to do it. So just one of those things, a risk versus reward, and if you can get away with it the whole main event.
Michael.
Thanks, Haley. Michael Antonovich with course heading. This will be for Cooper and then Chase. Can you guys talk us through what you felt like was your moment of the race? Chase, you just took us through the mistake where the gap kind of blew back up and then you reeled it back in again. And then, Coop, did you know that the gap went like that? Was there a moment that you thought you had this thing greased and it was over? And then, Chase, for you to reel it back in. Was there a point that you guys thought, like, I got it or I lost it?
No, not until the checker came. I saw his mistake, and I tried to capitalize and do a couple good ones, and that was my one mistake, because I missed the one rhythm, the on-off, around the same time a few laps after that. So I was trying to get away when he made that mistake, but he was able to recapitalize really quick and run a few tenths faster and got right back. So it was tough. It's always hard when you're, out front. You don't really see where you're losing or gaining. But you were also in a situation that I think it was a little bit difficult to pass tonight, and I knew that. So just trying to ride consistent laps, and honestly, the lappers too were a little tough tonight. Like, they were getting out of the way, but we would catch them very quick, and there wasn't much they could do because of the ruts and stuff like that. So kind of managing them was honestly difficult, especially the one rhythm that was that 2-3-3 had a really bad kicker, and like you're jumping beside some guys that they're a little tight doing it. So, I didn't think until the checker flag came out. I didn't think I was safe. I was just trying to click as best as I could.
For me, I think, like I said, I had that one mistake, but I was able to kind of regroup and catch him again. I didn't feel like I had really good speed. It was just more, and when he got that whole shot, I knew it was going to be hard to pass, and I knew the whoops were going to be a big part. And, it was tough. So the track it was hard to really push on it because you would lose the rear law. Coop lost it a few times. I lost it behind him. So, lappers were tough, like he said. He probably had the worst of it just because he is out front. But, it wasn't easy. I feel like we lapped the same guys 2 or 3 times, which is crazy. So, tough track. And for me, I feel like I rode well. I just couldn't get close enough to make it pass.
Sir.
Aaron Durant with TableOver2.com for Justin. We noticed at one point that you were the first one to dip under the 48s in that race. So were you just finding yourself in a groove, or was there a certain part of the track you felt you were getting extra right or anything?
Yeah, I was just feeding off the heat race, obviously. Didn't get the best of starts, which is a little disappointing. I got shuffled around and was probably 5th or 6th and had to pass AP and then had a good battle with Kenny going back and forth. So, yeah, it took me a little bit to get into the 3rd place position and then kind of locked in on those 2 out front and felt like I was just kind of maintaining the gap and really couldn't feel like I wasn't closing in, so gave it a good effort, and yeah, I just didn't really, I feel like, adapt after halfway to the newer lines that were forming. I felt like I kept taking the more beat up lines, and it was definitely hurting me a little bit, so I started searching, but yeah, by then it was in that mid race I kind of had a slump and lost a toe and just was in kind of no man's land from there.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. This one's for Chase. I watched you in first practice. You looked really good. Second practice, felt like maybe you missed a couple hot laps that you could have got back. Heat race kind of struggled a little bit, right? Yes or no? Okay, and then in the main event, I felt like, okay, we're back in it. Were we searching bike setup? Were we searching line choice? Was it something where you just couldn't find your flow tonight? Looking back on it, what could you have done to get that win?
Yeah, I mean, in practice, I felt like I was riding well, but I was making up. I feel like I was fast, one, because I was good in the whoops, but I didn't feel like I had my turns today that I needed. And in the heat race, I came back, I'm like, man, I don't even know if I know how to ride a dirt bike anymore. I just got beat by 15 seconds in a 6-minute race. So I was able to regroup, but I just, yeah, I was just struggling really in my turns and for traction tonight. I think obviously that was it for a lot of guys, but I just didn't have the greatest feeling. So I feel like I really rode well in the main event. I think that was the best I rode all day. Obviously, I needed it because Coop got the whole shot, so I was forced to ride good. But yeah, I think in the main event I came back and rode well. I just, like I said, it was one of those tracks where you couldn't override it, and it could bite you really fast. So it was just one of those things, finding that limit, and yeah.
Was it bike setup that you were working on, that you were looking for more traction, or was that something you were just missing a line or two?
I don't know. The dirt was tricky because it reminded me a lot of New Jersey, or was it East or Foxborough back in the day before they got that new dirt. It's kind of like, not gray, but it's like a little bit pebbly, and also it gets really soft in some of the transitions, like that one rhythm section after the start straight. That thing was really soft, and then the rest of the track was hard as a rock. So it was kind of a hard thing going back and forth on if I'm too soft, too stiff, and it was you kind of needed both tonight, and that's kind of what we struggled with.
Sir.
Trey Steyer, freelance. My question is for Cooper Webb. Tonight you became the 8th different rider in history to win 30 career 450 Supercross main events. What does it mean to you not only to go wire to wire, but to also put your name up there with greats like McGrath, Reed, Carmichael?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a long way from those guys, but it feels awesome, man, to be just a young kid from North Carolina with dreams of being a pro dirt bike racer, and to get 30 450 main event wins is it's pretty crazy. I think us racers, as we're in it, we take it for granted, but it really is super special when you start looking at that stuff.
Jim.
Jim Kimball with Motocross Action for Cooper Webb. Cooper, now with the series moving more west, how are you feeling about these last 2 rounds?
Yeah, I feel good. I think for me, I like elevation. I think they're football stadiums, which I enjoy. I've had great success at Salt Lake, and obviously last year was with my thumb was tough to do Colorado, but I've always enjoyed going to Denver and enjoy racing there. So, yeah, we're gonna do the best we can. I feel like we'll all make some changes for the altitude that will help, and the bike will be great there. And yeah, I'm excited, man. Like you said, it's coming down to the wire, so it's gonna be important to execute these last 2 and do the best we can. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think it'll be 2 good rounds for me.
I have a quick question for each 3 of you before we open it up to our online media. This is a brand new venue for us. It's been decades since we've been here. So do you guys have any thoughts, any comments on the crowd tonight, just racing in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I think it's cool to come to a new place. The town in general, we go to a lot of the same races year after year, so it's always great to come to a new venue. Crowd seemed great today. The atmosphere was good. The dirt, like Chase said, is a unique dirt. and obviously with all the rain, it was dry, so that's a huge positive. So, yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was cool to see such a packed stadium. We haven't had a race, I feel like, in the last couple weekends that has been super packed, and tonight seemed like a really good crowd. So it was cool, and it's not that far from Philadelphia. I don't know if it's new people or what it is, but they showed out tonight, and it was cool to see.
Yeah, I think it's cool to reach new venues. You get a different audience and, show the sport to some new faces. So I thought the venue was really cool, just doing some sightseeing, and cool city we got here. And, I enjoyed it. Track was great. And, crew did a great job with it, and hopefully be back next year.
Thanks, guys. We'll open up to our online media, starting with Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Cooper to be able to lead the main event and control the race from the front, how important was that tonight when navigating the traffic, and how did you stay so composed?
It wasn't easy, but it was much needed. I think we both knew the start was going to be inevitable and key to the race, and you could kind of, I don't say control the race, but it was hard to pass. So, unless you're going extremely aggressive, I felt like it was very hard to pass tonight, and I felt good. I kind of stuck to my game plan of jumping the whoops, and I saw the 250 main. I was working for those guys, and I stuck to my lines and just, it's tough though. Like it's easy to look back at the race and go, oh man, it was, well executed, but there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of little mistakes you're making that you're trying to adjust. If, you feel like you get caught, you're trying to make a change, but you don't know what to change. So it was really a mentally tough main event. I think we were truly going for it, and at least from my end, I feel like we were both in a position where we wanted that win bad, and I think we both showed that.
Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, Vital MX. Coop, I'm going to stay with you. Throughout the season, you've talked a lot about not making any bike changes because you've been comfortable. On the podium, you mentioned making a bike change. Generally, when you make a bike change during the week, it's a bigger change than on race day. So what'd you change?
We made a shock change, so first time in like 2 years. But I gave Gilly free reins this week, and he did his thing, and we made some good progress. So stoked with that. It's always a little bit of a risk, at least for me, in my opinion, when you do a bike change after having great success throughout the year. But I felt like it was a much needed change that helped me be a little bit better, a little stronger, helped me in the whoop, stuff like that. And we'll fine tune it this week and hopefully, get it even better.
Thanks, man.
Alex Ray.
Alex Ray, Swap Moto Live for Justin Cooper. Just take us through like a little bit, the beginning of the season, you started out, 5, 6, 7, and you've really bridged that gap to the front end of the pack. Like, is that something that you've changed during the week as far as sprint laps, or is that just going back to work each week?
Yeah, I think we had a really good off season, and it really comes down to just belief in yourself. You gotta, get these results and, show yourself that you can run up front and be with these guys. So I think you just got to take the confidence that you get from good performances, and I think that's the major key to success, at least for me, is building that confidence and going out each time and believing that I can be up there. So I think that's the difference that we're seeing even from the beginning of the year. I think we've been riding good all year, just haven't been able to execute exactly how I've wanted to. I feel like I should be up on the podium more, but better now than never. So we're going to try to keep this rolling and keep this momentum.
Brent.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey, Throttle Media. My question is for Coop. Coop, you have 2 championships. You're going for your 3rd. Does this one feel any different than the previous 2? Does it feel less pressure because you have 2 already, or does it feel more pressure since you're going for your 3rd and you're getting towards that rarefied air?
I think this one's honestly been a lot different, right? I think the situation that we're in right now that we've seen the last few weekends where it's been very heads up between me and Chase is a little bit unique, and it's like, I don't want to say it's not normal, but I feel like we, since the break, have really gone back and forth and raised our level and we see it throughout the day in practice and heats and everything. Like, we're just going back and forth, and I think we're both riding really well. So I think it's different in that regard of, like, there's it's more one-on-one, I guess you could say, compared to the others. And no, I think there's always pressure, right? Like, that's what makes the sport what it is. And I think sometimes it can eat at you, and it's tough, and mentally it's draining and stuff like that. But you got to look and take it as an enjoyment. And, I'm 29 years old, and I get to have that pressure of being a champion and maybe again, and having the red plate and stuff like that. But it's not easy. I don't think, for anybody sitting here in the room, I don't think they want the stress of what comes with it. But with that being said, that's part of it, and that's part of when you do execute. At least the 2 times that I have, it's means so much to you. So yeah, we'll see.
We've got time for 2 more. Nick.
Thanks, Haley. Nick Blackman, Winners Take Y'all. I kind of had to abandon my question. This is for Coop. Great rebound from last week, and this rivalry this year has been awesome. And the back and forth with you guys, like the hand gestures over the finish line, these generally finger banging over the finish line toward one another. And right on the coverage right before I left, we saw a little rocking the baby gesture that you made. Is that something new? Is it a family thing, or is that a who's your daddy kind of gesture?
I had to switch it up, man. I got finger bangs, so you got to come up with something new, right? But, I think at the end of the day, there's tension and there's rivalry right now, but I do have a lot of respect for Chase and always have, and I think we're some of the best that will ever do it in the sport, is my personal opinion, the generation we have right now. So a lot of respect, but definitely want to kick his ass.
Thanks.
1 more. Jace.
I guess this one is for Chase and Coop. I mean, tonight, if you did win this race, Coop, that kind of really puts Chase in a bit of a situation. I mean, no one has asked about the championship standing yet so far in this press conference. I mean, for both of you guys, like, where does this sit now? Because the math is heavily in your favor, Coop, especially with J Coop on the box showing the speed that he is. I guess both of your thoughts on what tonight means, and was this the biggest race of this series?
That's a tough, good question, but a tough. I mean, it's easy. Everyone keeps saying, get one win, and mathematically it's over. And it's like, dude, that ain't the case. Think it's easy to go get second every night? Like, no, it's not. And so there's anything that can happen. It's motorsports, and yeah, it's just mathematically it helped, but it ain't over till it's over. And we see the way he's been riding, and it doesn't take much. We are giving it our all, and these guys like Justin and Kenny and AP and Malcolm, like, they're giving it their all too, and they can be in the mix on any given night. So yeah, I mean, it's a big relief in the sense of, yes, I guess if you were to look at us going 1 and 2, mathematically does help, but that's not guaranteed by any means. So I think for me it was more just to stop the bleeding, especially after last week.
For me, I mean, yeah, I wanted to win tonight. That was the goal, and unfortunately I put myself in a bit of a tough situation. Prior to this, I knew I had to pretty much win every race. From, I think, 2 races back, I had to win all 5 to win it on my own and not have any help. So, yeah, it's a bummer not to get tonight done. I feel like I've been riding really well, especially in the main events. I think in my career, I think I've lacked, I've had speed all day, and I feel like I've lacked it in the main event. And these last 5 or 6 races, I feel like I've really turned it around and have just felt better riding in the main event, more loose, more able to think clearly. And, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work during the week off the bike with that. So it's been helping, and I think for me tonight, I still rode a great race. I didn't really make too many mistakes, and it was just a dogfight. I put a lot of pressure on Coop, and normally I think everybody I've raced has made mistakes under that pressure, and he didn't. And that goes to show how good of a just how good mentally he is and how good of a rider and racer he is. So, yeah, congrats to him. And like I said, every race I want to win. I think between him and I, we might hate losing more than anybody else. So it's tough, but like I said, we get another chance next weekend, and I think, like I said, anything can happen, but I definitely need help, and my goal is just to go out there and win.
The fight continues in
Well
Denver.
done to all three of you guys.
Thank you and congratulations. We'll see you next weekend. Cooper Webb, Chase Sexton, and Justin Cooper. And as we wait for our 250 Eastern Division top 3 to make their way to the stage here, where we go next will be in Denver next weekend, followed by the final round, is where we will see the 250 Eastern Division next, and that finale is also an East-West showdown. All right, and it's my honor to introduce to you our top 3. Tom Vial, his 3rd career Supercross win, his 1st of the season. We also have Nate Thrasher, 2nd podium of the season, and for his 1st career Supercross podium, Maximus Voland. Tom, congratulations. This was a vindicating win. I know you've had some significant races this season, game changers even, but for this one, what does this mean for your confidence now going into the final round in Salt Lake?
That one was really important. I feel like I had to win to get the chance next race in Salt Lake City. So I had a rough start of the day. I had a pretty big crash in practice, and I hit my head pretty hard. And I was actually fine. I got pretty lucky with the crash, and the heat race was pretty bad, but I had a great start. And my first couple of laps was great in the main event, and I was like, okay, I can actually, I feel good on the track. Also with the bike was working pretty good in the main event. So I was like, yeah, I have to do it. So I felt great, and we could make it happen tonight.
Congrats, Tom. We're so glad you're okay after that qualifying crash. We'll open it up to questions from the media. Michael.
Thanks, Haley. Michael Antonovich with Course Heading. We'll stick with you, Tom. Can you take us through the last few weeks, really going back to Foxborough? Because going to that race with the points lead, whatever happens on that Saturday night in the mud, East Rutherford, Philadelphia, and then to rebound tonight. As a multi-time champion that knows how things go, how have you stayed positive through these last few weeks with some big crashes, especially like you had today?
Yeah, the last 3 races have been pretty tough. Lost a lot of points in Foxborough. I think it was really a bummer because there was 2 laps to go. I could have maybe have 22 points lead, and I went to 1. So it was actually really a bummer. And the one in Philly, it was pretty tough. I had also a big crash in, I think it was a heat race. And I just had to keep on training during the week, and I stay strong, and I really try to believe in myself. And I know I can do it, and I felt great tonight, so I could bounce back. I think the start was important. I feel like Seth and RJ start always in front of me the last 2-3 races, and tonight I could start in front of them, and that's helped a lot.
And as stated, Tom, of course, taking back control of that points lead. Dan Beaver.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Sticking with Tom for a moment. It's kind of important that you've got these 2 guys on the podium with you. Now you're going into the East-West shootout for the last race. Possibly getting some of the West guys in between you and the other people. How were you aware of where you were, where the other riders were, and where the points were shaking out when you went around, Nate?
I've actually, to be honest, I've seen Seth during the race in the Supercross triple. I looked to the right, and he was in the other rhythm, so I knew he was a little far back. And I was like, yeah, I need to stay on the bike. And Nate was really good through the whoops. He was skimming them, so I feel like he was a little bit faster there. And then I was catching in a few other sections on the track. so it was hard to get close to him. And I feel like I was getting a little bit better in those whoops, so the gap was a little closer every lap, and I felt great during the last 5 laps. And I could make the pass, and I didn't really know where RJ was. I couldn't really see him. But I've seen said during the during the main event that he was a little bit far back. So, yeah, I feel like I didn't win any main event this year yet. So far, so that one feels really good.
Mitch
Kendra with Racetracks will go to Max on this one. Obviously, you mentioned the first career podium and the weight off your shoulders. Just walk us through everything you went through that injury last year. I think it was January. Just the road to come back, dealing with the leg injury, the handbrake, just all the struggles we know you went through. Can you just walk us through some of that and how good it feels to be able to finally say, hey, I did it, and, just finally able to be back up here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was such a long road for me coming out of the hospital and with the injury, the hip dislocation, and then having the sciatic nerve problem and losing pretty much all feeling in my foot and also mobility as well. And yeah, it was such a long road, and I went through so many ups and downs. And there's a lot of days when I was in the midst of the injury where I didn't even know if I'd ever be able to race again. But then the handbrake kind of became an idea, and I just kind of ran with it, and we went through so many different variations of it, and yeah, it finally got to the point where I was able to ride at a decent level, and then we went racing with it at the beginning of the season, and yeah, that system ended up not working, and I was having problems with it, and I wasn't finishing the races, and the bike wasn't making it, so we had to go to a new system, and then halfway through the season, as Daytona was the first race I had on the new system, and kind of that was it. I was like, okay, yeah, this is solid enough to where I can do what I need to do, and just kind of built from there, and it's just been a slow, steady build, and yeah, we've been working hard at club, and just, yeah, it's good to finally get that first podium and kind of get that monkey off the back, and just a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders.
Aaron
Durant with TableOver2.com. You covered a lot of it there, but we get to see all the highlights, on Saturdays when we all show up here. You're obviously riding well, system's working well at this point. But if you could touch a bit more on the mental side, I mean, there's a lot of bike rides we don't see. There's a lot of gym. There's a lot going on at club. How do you keep chasing this through all that mentally?
Yeah, honestly, the injury I felt like definitely made me a lot mentally stronger. Just overcoming, be able to ride at such a high level with the handbrake and everything, it kind of just, gives me confidence in myself. I'm overcoming and achieving something that no one's done before. So I kind of just kept running with that, and just, yeah, it's like I said, it's been a steady build, but low-key's just been under the radar, and finally just decided to show up tonight and make it happen.
Jim
Kimball with Motocross Action for Tom. Tom, talk for a minute again about that crash. It looked like you were injured and your bike was severely beaten up. How were you able to kind of put that in your rear view mirror and be so on it for the main event?
Yeah, I kind of made a mistake myself. I went on the inside and tried to triple, and the jump was a little longer than I expected, so I had a pretty... I mean, once you kiss the triple, like, there's not much you can do, and I got lucky, to be honest. Like, I landed pretty good. I hit my head pretty hard, and I was like... My back was really bad. My bar was banged, and I couldn't do anything, so I just put up. I got lucky to have a good time in the first practice, so I still qualified, I think, 4th for the night show, so that was great. And yeah, I was lucky to be all right. I didn't feel anything on my neck, on my back, on my shoulder was fine, so I could ride great for the night show.
Sir.
Billy Rainford from Direct Motocross. Let's go to Nate here. Nate, that's got to be one that got away on you there, man. You got the whole shot. You led, man, like the last minute you got past. Take us through the race from your perspective and how you're feeling about that night.
Yeah, I was just trying to execute, the best I could out front. It's tough. I knew they were there, and I kind of pulled away a little bit in the middle part of the race there, and we ran into lappers, and it kind of yo-yoed, and then he started closing in a little bit, and I was just trying to hit the whoops as good as I could, and then just the rest of the track, I couldn't really tell where he was catching me at. Just being out front, sometimes you want to be in the second spot there, because then you can kind of know when to push on the jumps a little bit harder, or hit this turn a little bit better. But yeah, he rode great, and when he got around me, I kind of did a spun out there before that on off, and he was hitting that inside up at the top, and he got quite a bit closer there and was able to make the pass.
Sir.
Matt Williamson, MXP Mag. Questions for Maximus. So good job today. You covered it with Mitch earlier, but what's the mood at the truck? I mean, your team is no stranger to being up there this year. How does that feel to be among the greats within Club MX?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just good to give back to them for all the hard work that we've done in the off season. Yeah, I definitely made them do a lot of work with figuring out the handbrake and all that. So, yeah, it's good just to give that back to them. And yeah, it's a great feeling to my first career podium, their second podium this year. And yeah, it's also just shows that, you know, the work that we've been putting in is starting to pay off. And our bike's good. We're in a good spot. It's fast. The suspension works great. So, yeah, we just study build. We just try to be 1% better every day.
Adam.
Adam from Track Talkers. This one's for Tom Bial. A little bit of a tough question, but we've been talking a lot on the podcast. You're really in this title fight right now, like big time. If you win this title, you have to move up to 450, and you have to deal with a 450 ride. What's your thoughts on this whole situation?
Yeah, I'd be happy to move to 450 if I win the title.
There you go.
I feel like I have no other choice. Like, that's the way I've been riding a little bit 450 lately, and I feel pretty good on it. So, yeah, I would have to move.
I mean, the question is, are you sticking with KTM, or would you be looking for other rides?
No, right now, I mean, still nothing is decided yet, but I would like, yeah, I mean, staying. I've been with KTM since so many years, so I think, like, it's an easy way to move on the same bike, 450, if I win the title. So that would be the plan.
We'll welcome our online media into the conversation, starting with Jamie.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. Nate, I want to go to you. Beginning of the season, you know, you're coming off the injury with the fingers and surgery, and it took you a little while to get going. Do you feel like you're at 100% now with, you know, one more to go, which is a showdown? You know, maybe you can go out there and win that one.
Yeah, I'm as close as I've been in a long time. I think still dealing with a couple things, but yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot. Just got to get a little bit more better speed-wise. I think I'm still just lacking a little bit of that. Just not being able to ride for 5 or 6 weeks during the crucial part of the season there. Just got a little bit behind. So I think I'm still lacking a little bit of speed, but I think I've gained in some areas. I think the whoops these last 2 races have really been my strong suit, and I'm just going to keep building on that. We've got a great platform on our bike, and yeah, it's really helping me there, and I could just get a little bit better in the rhythms and then the turns. I think it would be, help me a lot, and would have been able to win tonight for sure. So I just need to keep working on that.
Good job, man.
Brent.
Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Max. Max, with the handbrake, obviously that's not a way you traditionally ride the bike. Learning how to use that, talk about learning how to use that, and then obviously you've been riding with that for a little while now. Have you found any advantages of riding with the handbrake that you maybe thought you wouldn't have?
Yeah, it was definitely a huge learning curve for me, and we went through so many variances. Like, we kept changing it so many times over and over to try and get it to figure out. So it's kind of hard to build the muscle memory at first. But once we got the right setting and the right setup at Daytona, it was kind of then steady building from there. And yeah, I feel like it does have its advantages, especially even just start getting into some outdoors and the ruddy situations. I can keep my feet on the pegs a lot more and have full control over brake and clutch. So yeah, when the tracks are rough and technical, I feel like it's definitely an advantage for me.
Alex Ray.
Alex Ray, Swap Moto Live. My question's for Tom Bial. So, pretty much the beginning of the season, we talked a lot in the media about, how maybe you didn't have the top end speed of some of the guys that you were racing with, but you're still a championship contender. Tonight, you showed that you had more intensity, more speed than a lot of the other guys, and it paid off. Was that something that you just gelled with the track, or was that more of like, hey, it's getting down to the wire, you're in the championship fight, and it's time to win?
I kind of agree. The first 2 races have been, I wouldn't say off, but my speed wasn't really there. And I think since Daytona, the 3rd race, I've been pretty much fighting for the win every races. I feel like the speed was good, but I just couldn't really make it happen. And I finished I think 2 or 3 times second. So I've been really close to the win a couple of times, and I just couldn't make the last step, the last 5 laps to make a pass or something. So, and I feel like tonight I could do it, and I've been close. Like, I mean, only Seth. There were a lot of different winners, I feel like, this year, and only Seth has 2 wins so far. But everyone else has only 1 win. So RJ has also 1 win, and I feel like we're going to the last race, and me, Seth, and RJ are pretty close, I feel like.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Haley. Alex Gobert, MotorOnline.com. Continuing with Tom, you've obviously won a lot of important races in your career. This one in particular was really instrumental for your title prospects. How would you rate this result tonight compared to some of your other wins in the past?
Yeah, I feel like I had to win to get a good chance for Salt Lake City to get closer in points, and luckily I actually got the red place, so that's a good point. So we get a good chance to be able to hopefully win in Salt Lake City. But I had to make it happen tonight. I was 7 points behind Seth, so that was, I wouldn't say a lot, but I couldn't finish behind him. Otherwise, it would have been a lot. So I had to make it happen. The start was important. I execute my start pretty good in the main event, and I rode great.
Jamie Guida, did you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I actually did. This is for Nate and Tom. Since you guys are on the top 2 spots of the box, I'd like to get your thoughts on how difficult it would be to adapt and use a front brake or a rear brake on the handbrake like Max is doing, just to get your perspective on what that would take to change your riding style.
I don't know. I obviously never try, and I mean, I feel like I have a lot of respect for that because he's been riding for like so many years with the rear brake. I mean, we all been riding with the rear brake. I mean, braking the foot. So he's kind of he is actually pretty good on the bicycle. So I think that's help. And yeah, I don't know if I could do it, to be honest.
And I have time for one. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, kind of the same boat there. I think it would definitely take a lot of getting used to. For sure, he's obviously at the highest level of the sport doing it, which is incredible. But I think it's just over time. If you had to do it, you find a way. That's what all of us on that gate on a top-notch team, we just find a way, and he's obviously found a way. And big kudos to him.
Thanks.
My apologies again, Nate. I do have time for one more quick question. Nick.
Thanks, Haley. Nick Blackman with the Winners Take Y'all. This is kind of for everybody. Obviously, the first part of the moto, for sure, blitzing the whoops was faster than jumping through them. Was jumping through it or blitzing the whoops, was that a decision that you guys make before the race, or is it something you just take as it comes?
I think it was a tough one. The whoops were actually pretty gnarly. Normally they are a little bit easier in the night show, but I feel like they were same as the afternoon, same as the practice. So I didn't know what to do before the cycling lap. I was gonna jump because I don't think I would have make it for 18 or 20 laps skimming. Nate was actually skimming. He was a little bit faster, and I was just trying to be to jump like smooth and make it happen every lap. And I wasn't losing a lot, but yeah, the whoops were actually pretty tough, and my plan was to jump for the main event.
Yeah, for me, I think it was definitely faster. Even the later stages of the race just didn't execute the rest of the track well. But for me, honestly, I think it was easier for me to skim. They were pretty tough to jump too. So I think for me, honestly, I didn't even really get any sketchy in them at all. So it was just pretty, just hitting them the way I would on any day. And that was kind of my plan going into them. I actually, in the middle part of the race, I started coming in even a little bit faster to try to get through them a little bit better. And it was working. I should have done that earlier. So, yeah, I think it was definitely better.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty much the same as Tom. Pretty much went out there and just expected to jump right away. And after seeing what Justin Cooper was doing in the heat race, the 2, 3, 4, I was kind of my goal. So I ended up doing that on a sight lap. And yeah, when I got that clean during the race, it was definitely pretty fast to be able to kind of scrub and get onto that 3 on off pretty easy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Nicely done tonight. We'll see you in Salt Lake City. Tom Viel, Nate Thrasher, and Maximus Voland. If you'll stick around, we still have one more podium for you, our final top 3 of the night, and that is SMX Next. And it's another honor to introduce to you our top 3 for SMX Next, their championship race. Your winner tonight for the first time this season, Alexander Fedortsov for Yamaha, and Landon Gordon and Enzo Temmerman for Kawasaki. Alexander, we'll start with you. This was so emotional. You've put together a great season, but now that you're a few moments past claiming that win, what are the emotions at this point?
Yeah, it was awesome, and yeah, it's been a little rough Supercross for me. So yeah, just get it done this night, and yeah, just stay consistent the whole day. So yeah, really proud of this day, and feel good on the bike and on the track. So yeah.
You've had a lot of speed. It's great to see it all come together. We'll open it up to questions from the media. Michael?
Thanks, Haley. Yeah, we'll stick with you, Alex. Going back to Vegas SMX last year, that was really the first time I think a lot of us saw how fast you could go. And then looking at how this year's gone, we've seen you have the speed, but then little incidences, crashes, flat tires that have kept you from succeeding. How nice is it to put it together on the night that's arguably the most important of the entire year?
Oh, it's been really nice. Honestly, it's felt amazing today, and it's just really good. Yeah, it's since SMX. I rode good there, but just didn't know a lot about like riding Supercross, and learned a lot in this off season. So with the Club MX crew and Cody and Max, so yeah, I've been better on the Supercross, and just can't show it yet. But yeah, today is like put a puzzle together, so and show it. Yeah, shows really good.
Was there anything that felt like you put it all together? Was there something that clicked, or did it just a good day?
Just more consistent probably the whole day. I almost did a Daytona, but just got a little unfortunate. But today is more, yeah, I just felt more like confident and comfortable the whole day on the track, and feel really good. So yeah, just feel good on the track. That's probably just feel comfortable, and when you feel comfortable, you just go win.
Mitch
Kendros, Racer X. We'll stick with you, Alex, for this one. Congrats on the ride. I feel like you had walked under a ladder or had some bad luck there for a couple races. You mentioned your teammates, for them to get a couple podiums this year, and this is the amateur program, but for you to get a win, maybe against guys that have more support than you, what's it been like kind of being an underdog and kind of getting a big jump for a championship here for the team?
I just stay and keep working hard, just let it come to me, and just, I mean, when it's not go like you want, you just keep working hard again, go back to the club and work like everybody do that. So yeah, it's been awesome to ride with my teammates Max, and then they taught me a lot of stuff, so I just learned, and yeah, just really good.
And obviously this is still an amateur championship, but if you would envision, like, when you were a young kid, would you ever see this would be the end goal and eventually make it to the pros? Did you ever imagine this would be something that would happen when you first started riding, like Supercross Amateur Championship?
No, probably not. Honestly, I was just keep learning how to ride the Supercross and everything, and just never thought I'm gonna be like winning like something like this big, or not just amateurs. But yeah, I never thought about it. So it's really cool. We just take step by step. So yeah.
Sir.
Ryder Yeckley, Baldwin High School newspaper. This one's for Alex. So, Alex, we're done with Supercross Futures. Now we're going into motocross. How confident are you feeling with your motocross and going into the summer against all these dudes you've been racing this Supercross season?
Definitely going to feel more confident in myself, and yeah, this is definitely a good confidence booster for me, and I proved I can ride good. so I can battle with these guys. And just last year has been kind of like growing to this level of riding. So yeah, right now I just show it I can ride and be out front. So yeah, I'm just really confident to go there for outdoors.
Thank you.
Miss?
Elise Harris with Digital Impact. This is for all three of you. What is it like going through training all season, knowing that it can like come down to one race and winner takes all?
It was. I think it's a little hard. It's like more pressure in the one race because it's like these guys have probably, if it's points, these guys have more points than me. So, but yeah, for one race, kind of a lot of pressure on you, and you kind of like can't mess it up. So, yeah, it's definitely more pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really look at it any different than any of the other rounds we did, just because, I mean, same riders. Yeah, it didn't change much except, I mean, from a fan standpoint. I mean, it looked as, more of a finale for us, but yeah, I didn't really think any different of it.
Yeah, it's tough for sure because you have months of training and then it's just one 8-minute race that bases it off of. But like Landon was saying, all the last 4 rounds before this were just as tough, so mindset was kind of the same going into this one.
And I would like to add really quick that these are among the first to be invited, these 3, to the SMX Next World All-Star events this fall, which will take place at our playoff rounds 1 and 2 in Concord, North Carolina, and St. Louis, Missouri.
Billy Rainford from Direct Motocross. For all three of you guys, Alex, you said kind of what your plans are for next summer, but I know your teammate is planning to come up and see us in Canada. Is anyone else up here planning to come up, maybe up north, to do what Drew Adams did last year? Or do you guys all know what your summer plans are?
Yeah, I think we're going to decide the next week what we're going to do about the outdoors next year. So, this year, yeah, but no, I'm not going to Canadian Nationals this year. Yeah, I know Ryder, I think, going there. So, yeah, I know Ryder going, yeah.
Yeah, I won't be going to Canada. I know I really want to do couple pro nationals this year, but we'll see how it goes. As of right now, I'll be at Hangtown Combine and Loretta's.
Yeah, sticking to the combines and amateur races. Maybe one Canada race in there, maybe, but I'm not sure yet.
Sir?
This is Cody Darr with RacerX. Enzo, so I've heard a little bit about your training program. Can you go into depth about how your training program is and who you train with and kind of what you go through the week?
Well, I ride as much as I can almost every day. I'd say like 5 days a week. I go to the track with my grandpa, and he's kind of like my trainer. Off the bike, I have a trainer that I work with in the gym and stuff. But yeah, I just go to the track with my grandpa, do my motos, do section work, do sprint laps, with him, and he's pointing out where I could do better, and then always go home and train with my trainer in the gym, too.
Aaron
Durant with TableOver2.com. For each of you guys, especially with these still fairly new SMX Next races, at this point in your career, you guys make a lot of progress very quickly. So for each of you guys, what is the number one thing you've each learned over the last year or so about being a good dirt bike racer?
I'd say with the SMX Next program, it helps a lot because you got to ride these tracks, and these tracks are a lot tougher. So I feel like that helps you progress a lot, just because you go to the practice track and the track's pretty prepped and it's usually smooth, doesn't break down how these ones do. So I think that helps you progress a lot, and I think it's a good experience.
Yeah, the SMX Next program is, I think, helping a lot the kids transition to the pro ranks. About the learning the tracks quick and have a qualifying sessions and kind of main event style, like good schedule for them. And the track getting rough, like pros riding the same track same day. So no, I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, I think it's perfect. We learned so much. It's such a great experience for us, and yeah, I mean, it's basically like you could say like our rookie year of pros. Like we're just getting all the funks out, and yeah, I feel like it'll really set us into the pros well.
Mitch.
Mitch Kendra again with Racer X. We'll go to Landon. Obviously, you came up short of the championship in this race, but you had a couple wins. I feel like you still got significantly better than you were last year. How would you rate your season? And even though you came up short, is there still significant progress made from last season and even the beginning of this season?
Yeah, I'd say, I've made huge gains this year. If we're looking at last year, I was a mess last year. And, I really composed myself. And, I've been just working on being patient, and letting everything come to me. And, it's been good. I'm really happy with my progression. And, more to come.
Cody, do you have a follow-up?
One more question, Cody from Racer X. Alexander, what does this championship mean to you and your family?
It means a lot. Like, it's proved me I can be with these guys and I can ride good. And we just work hard for that. And it's been really hard months of training after like bad luck again. Like, so just DNF there. So it's been hard, but it's really means a lot for me.
We'll bring in our online media and we'll bring it back to the room if time allows, but we'll give Jamie Guida a chance to chime in here for SMX Next.
Jamie Guida, Vital MX. Landon, I'll go to you. You guys are already sort of asked my question about SMX Next and how helpful it is. It wasn't that many years ago where this program didn't exist. So kids your age wouldn't really have the opportunity to do what you're doing at a Supercross race. What's one thing that surprised you about the program, Saturday program?
I'd say just like how rough the track is that we ride. And I feel like it's really good for our future just because, 250 main's pretty rough, but if you think about it, like 250 heat is pretty smooth, and I'd say just how rough the track is that we get to race, and I think it's great for our future though.
Awesome, thanks guys, congrats.
Alex Gobert.
Thanks, Haley. For Enzo, I wanted to ask the question on your behalf, just how much you learned this season and what your biggest takeaway was from 2025 and obviously these few months of Supercross you've been able to apply yourself in.
Yeah, I think it was really good being able to race all 5 of these. Biggest takeaway, I think one of the most important things for me was staying healthy and getting through all the rounds because, we just talked about how rough the tracks are and how good of an experience it is. So to get all the track time was really good for me, I think. Made a lot of progress from the first round to now. And, I think it was good staying healthy and on to the outdoor season.
Aaron? Nope. Mitch?
Yeah, one more for Landon. I think Will Hahn was a big part of your training program. From what I understand, he's going to be returning to a paddock for a specific team again. Can you just give some insight into what it's been like training with him and I guess kind of your next step now that if he's going to be kind of in a different role?
It's been amazing training with Will Hahn. I love the guy. He's seems like everybody loves him. He's just a really good guy. And it's been great training with him and Colt Nichols. And we'll see what the future is.
Last chance. Any questions we have left for SMX Next? No? All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations. Alex Fedortsov, Landon Gordon, and Enzo Temmerman. We'll see you next time, round 16 of the Super Motocross World Championship in Denver, Colorado. Thanks, everyone, for being here.